Welcome to the very first episode of Insights That Matters.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm so excited to have you all here for our deep dive.
Yeah.
We're always just surrounded by so much information, articles, reports, news.
Absolutely.
But what we really want are those key insights.
Yeah.
Those golden nuggets.
Those are the things that we're looking for, right?
Exactly. And that's exactly what we're going to do here.
Okay.
Take a deep dive into a topic that you care about.
All right.
And really extract the knowledge that matters.
The knowledge that matters.
And to help us,
yeah,
we have a brilliant expert on board.
Oh, wonderful.
Someone who can really synthesize all of this information and help us see those aha moments.
I love those aha moments.
So today we are diving into the world of Indian fintech.
Oh, exciting.
Specifically, the much anticipated IPO of MobiKwik.
Okay, MobiKwik.
Have you heard of MobiKwik?
I have heard of MobiKwik, yes.
Okay, great.
Very familiar with the Indian fintech landscape, as you know.
Absolutely, and this is particularly interesting.
Right.
Because this is their first time going public.
So this is MobiKwik's first foray into the public market.
It is.
There's no existing stock history to analyze.
That's exciting.
Which makes it very exciting.
But there's also a lot of uncertainty there.
There's uncertainty for potential investors, for sure.
Right.
Because there's no historical data.
So how do they plan to attract investors then?
Well, they are banking on the explosive growth of the fintech sector in India.
Okay.
And their own unique position in it.
And they're trying to position themselves as more than just a payments platform.
Right.
So tell me about that.
Well, they are offering a suite of financial services.
Like what?
So think about buy now, pay later.
Okay.
Like MobiKwik, Zaakpay, microloans through ZinIP EMI.
Wow.
Even forays into insurance and mutual funds.
That's pretty impressive.
So they're aiming to be a one-stop shop for a wide range of financial needs, catering to a vast and increasingly digitally savvy population.
Especially in India.
Especially in India, right?
That's a bold move.
It is.
Considering the competition.
There's a lot of competition.
You have Paytm and PhonePe.
Oh, huge.
Not to mention all these new entrants.
Absolutely.
So how does MobiKwik differentiate themselves?
That's the crucial question.
Yeah.
What's interesting is MobiKwik's focus on a specific niche, capturing the next billion users who are new to digital finance.
So they're
tapping into a segment that's often overlooked by the larger players.
So they're playing the long game.
It seems so.
Yeah.
Aiming for broader financial inclusion.
As investors,
we
want to look at the bottom line.
For sure.
So what about their financials?
Their recent financials tell a story of growth and recovery.
Okay.
They've reported positive earnings per share.
EPS.
That's right, EPS.
Okay.
And a solid return on net worth.
Or
RONW.
RONW for the fiscal year 2024.
Right.
And this is significant.
Yes.
Because they had losses in previous years.
But this turnaround is encouraging.
But can they keep this up?
That's the key question.
What's their plan?
Their growth strategy hinges on aggressive expansion of their financial services offerings.
So how are they going to do that?
They're pouring resources into things like data analytics, AI product development.
So they're really focusing on the tech side of things.
Strengthening that platform.
Okay.
Attracting more consumers and merchants.
And ultimately
becoming an indispensable part of the Indian financial ecosystem.
That's the goal.
And to fuel this growth,
they're
hoping to raise a significant amount of capital through this IPO.
That makes sense.
Right.
So a big bet on technology.
Definitely.
But even with the best plans, there are always risks.
Of course.
Right.
Absolutely.
So what are some things investors should be aware of?
The fintech landscape in India is very dynamic and intensely competitive. One concern is their reliance on partnerships.
Okay.
Particularly for their lending products.
So that could change.
Changes in those relationships could significantly impact their financial services offerings.
So it's not just internal factors.
It's a lot of external factors.
To consider.
Absolutely.
There's always the risk of fraudulent transactions.
Yes.
Right.
That's a challenge.
Every company in this space has to deal with this.
Absolutely.
And then there's the regulatory landscape, which is constantly evolving.
Yes.
Obtaining necessary licenses and approvals from the Reserve Bank of India.
RBI.
RBI, that's right.
Yeah.
And complying with evolving regulations like the digital lending guidelines.
Okay.
This can be a very complex and demanding process.
So staying ahead of the regulatory curve
it's so important.
Is crucial.
It is.
So before we get into the regulatory environment, let's quickly recap
what we've learned.
I like that.
So we looked at MobiKwik's ambitious plan
Right.
to be a comprehensive financial services provider.
To a huge market.
Right.
Yeah.
Targeting this untapped market segment.
Huge growth potential there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've analyzed their recent financial performance.
Which has been positive.
It's been a positive trend.
Yes.
We've discussed their growth strategy.
Reliance on technology.
Yes, technology and expansion.
Yeah.
But we've also highlighted those risks.
Those potential risks are important.
Reliance on partners in that evolving regulatory landscape.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So we will be diving into more details.
Fantastic.
Including the background of the people behind MobiKwik.
All right.
But we'll do that
right
after a quick word from our sponsors.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned.
Oh.
Welcome back to Insights That Matters.
Yes.
All right, so before the break, we were really painting a picture of MobiKwik's ambitions.
Their vision.
Their financials.
The landscape.
And the potential bumps in the road.
The bumps, yeah.
But every company is really shaped by the people
at the top.
At the helm.
The people at the helm.
So let's talk about the masterminds behind MobiKwik.
Absolutely.
The promoters.
Yes. It's so crucial to understand the leadership when you are evaluating an investment opportunity.
And in this case,
MobiKwik's case,
we have a dynamic duo at the top.
Yeah.
Bipin Preet Singh and Upasana Rupkrishan Thakur.
Yes.
They co-founded the company back in 2008.
And have been driving the vision ever since.
So they've been navigating the Indian financial landscape.
That's right.
For over 16 years.
Impressive.
What kind of experience do they bring to the table?
Well, Bipin's background is rooted in technology.
Okay.
He has a degree in electrical engineering.
Oh, wow.
From one of India's premier institutions.
Okay.
The Indian Institute of Technology.
IIT Delhi.
Delhi, that's right.
Very impressive.
Yeah. And his career has gone through the semiconductor industry and then eventually into fintech.
So that blend of technical and financial expertise
is quite fitting.
Quite fitting.
Yeah.
It's interesting how founders' past experiences
really is
shape their companies.
Absolutely.
What about Upasana?
Yeah, so Upasana has been instrumental in shaping MobiKwik's journey right from the start.
Okay.
Deeply involved in building the brand and its strategic direction.
So a real powerful combination
of
vision and execution.
For sure.
But a successful company isn't built on two individuals alone.
Absolutely not.
So what can you tell us about their management team and board of directors?
You need a strong team.
Yes.
To execute that grand vision.
And it seems like they have that.
They seem to. Their management team and their board expertise in all sorts of areas.
Like what?
Finance, technology, regulatory affairs. That kind of well-rounded experience is vital.
In a sector like this.
Oh, absolutely.
So a seasoned leadership team.
Yeah.
With a proven track record.
Yes.
And a board with diverse expertise.
They have assembled a great crew.
Yeah.
To steer the ship.
All right, so let's zoom out a bit.
Okay.
And talk about the regulatory environment in India.
All right.
The Indian financial landscape is known for its complexity.
It is complex.
So how does that impact MobiKwik?
Payment systems and financial services are heavily regulated in India.
Makes sense.
As they should be. It's a sector that impacts millions of people.
Absolutely.
In the overall economy.
So the Reserve Bank of India,
the RBI,
plays a central role in overseeing this landscape.
And MobiKwik needs to get all those licenses and approval
from the RBI to operate legally.
And they need to comply with all sorts of regulations.
Absolutely.
From data security
to lending practices.
So compliance is an ongoing challenge. It really is.
Especially with those regulations constantly evolving.
For a company like MobiKwik,
yeah,
that is pushing the boundaries of traditional finance with their innovative products.
Right.
Staying ahead of that regulatory curve
is so important.
Is crucial.
For instance,
the
RBI has introduced digital lending guidelines.
That's right.
Which have impacted how these fintech companies structure their products.
Partnerships?
In partnerships.
Yes.
So MobiKwik has to navigate these changes.
While ensuring they don't stifle their growth.
And innovation.
Exactly.
It's a tough balancing act.
It is.
So I know potential investors are keen to understand how MobiKwik stacks up.
Against its competitor.
Against the competition.
Yeah.
We touched on it earlier.
We did.
But can you elaborate on what makes them stand out?
What makes them stand out?
Their unique value proposition.
Their focus is interesting.
Yeah.
They're not trying to be everything to everyone. Instead, they're targeting a very specific segment.
Which is?
The next billion users who are new to digital finance.
Right.
That's a massive opportunity.
Yeah.
And MobiKwik is tailoring its products and services to cater to their needs.
So many people in India are still transitioning
from cash
to digital transactions.
Exactly.
So they're kind of like that bridge.
They're the bridge, offering user-friendly interfaces.
And products designed
for first-time users.
That's a smart approach.
It is.
Creating a pathway
to financial inclusion.
But catering to that specific segment doesn't guarantee success.
It doesn't.
So what are some of their advantages?
One of their strengths is their deep understanding of the Indian market.
Okay.
They've been operating in this space for over a decade.
So they've built those relationships?
They've built relationships. They understand the consumer. They've adapted to that evolving landscape.
So that experience really gives them an edge
over newer entrants who are still figuring it all out.
So they've earned their stripes.
They have.
But experience alone isn't enough. So how are they staying ahead of the curve?
They've been investing technology, building a robust platform
to support
those ambitious growth plans.
And they're leveraging data analytics
and AI to personalize those user experiences, enhance that security, and streamline operations.
And they're exploring new technologies like blockchain
to enhance transparency and security.
So they're not just riding the waves, they're shaping it.
They're shaping it.
What about their financial strategy?
Their revenue model is multifaceted.
In what way?
They generate revenue through transaction fees on payments, subscriptions for their value-added services, and interest income from their lending products.
It's a good mix.
Right. And they're exploring new revenue streams as well.
Like what?
Partnerships with merchants to offer targeted marketing and advertising.
So they're building a diverse and sustainable revenue model.
That's the goal.
But investors always want to look for those potential risks.
Absolutely.
We've touched on some.
Right.
Are there any other red flags we haven't discussed yet?
Well, one potential concern is their reliance on third-party payment gateways and infrastructure providers.
So that introduces
dependency. Potential vulnerability.
It's like building a house on someone else's foundation.
Exactly.
You got to make sure it's solid.
They do.
Anything else investors should be aware of?
The challenge of managing growth while maintaining profitability.
Which is a
classic problem. You need to invest to grow, but you need to control costs.
To ensure
profitability. It's a balancing act.
It is.
A lot of companies struggle with.
It's a tough one.
It is.
All right, so before we wrap up this deep dive, let's zoom out and consider the bigger picture.
Okay.
What does MobiKwik's journey tell us about the future of fintech in India?
I think MobiKwik's story is really a microcosm of those larger trends
that are shaping
the Indian fintech sector.
We are seeing a surge
in digital adoption, a growing demand
for financial services.
And a regulatory landscape
that is
supportive but evolving.
And companies like MobiKwik are at the forefront.
They are.
Of this transformation.
Absolutely.
It's an exciting time to be watching the space unfold.
It really is.
Now, before we move on to the final takeaways from our deep dive. Let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsors.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back to wrap things up. Welcome back to Insights That Matters. We've really explored MobiKwik's journey, their financial picture, and the people behind it all. But the big question is this IPO a golden opportunity or a risky gamble?
That is the million rupee question, isn't it?
It is.
Like with any investment. No crystal ball, but
we've gathered those pieces of the puzzle.
We're trying to assemble them.
MobiKwik is riding that wave of a booming sector.
Huge demand for digital financial services in India.
And they position themselves strategically.
Absolutely.
Targeting a segment with huge growth potential. And they've shown that commitment to innovation and technology.
Absolutely. But we've also seen those roadblocks.
The competition. Reliance on those partnerships. And that ever-evolving regulatory landscape.
Yes, it's a lot to consider.
So for our listener who's weighing those options, what's the most important takeaway here?
Knowledge is power. Don't let the hype sway your decisions. Take everything we've talked about today. Their business model, their financials, their growth strategy.
The potential risks.
Those risks, and dig deeper. Read their prospectus. Explore those analyst reports. Compare MobiKwik's offerings to their competitors.
It's all about doing your homework.
It is.
Understanding the potential rewards.
And the risks.
But also talking to a financial advisor.
Well, that's always a good idea.
Always a wise move.
They can provide that personalized guidance.
Right.
Based on your goals.
And
risk tolerance.
Investing should never be a blind leap of faith.
Absolutely not.
It's about making those informed choices
that align with your financial strategy.
That's right. So there you have it, our first deep dive into the MobiKwik IPO.
It's been a fascinating one.
We've really dissected the company, analyzed their prospects, and hopefully you've got the insights you need to make a decision.
Absolutely.
But this is really just the starting point.
That's right.
This deep dive is a spark.
To ignite your curiosity.
Keep exploring, keep asking questions.
Never stop learning.
Never stop learning. And if this episode has made you hungry, for more deep dives, be sure to
subscribe,
and stay tuned. We've got a lot more to uncover together.
We do. I look forward to diving back in with you soon.
Until then,
happy investing.
Happy investing.